Hey.
Hello.
Did you just hello? Did you just hello the camera?
Yes. Okay, we'll go hey.
No, you can do hello. It's fine. Whatever. It's done. It's done. I'm just kidding. Welcome to Rise and Shine Part 2, where we continue to talk about what's going on in our world and shine a light on it from a Christian and biblical perspective. And we have more news and articles and things for you. So we are going to kick things off with the Trump rally.
Cool.
Yes. With Elon Musk has made an appearance. Yeah. So he...
Continue, something just popped in my head.
Okay. I'm like, why'd you make that face? So, Donald Trump has returned to the site
You got shot at.
of his assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania. So, yesterday, October 5th, he returns to the site of his assassination attempt. And that, in my opinion, is such a bold and brave and move, right? Like, I would be absolutely terrified. Like, I would have nightmares for like years about that. I would not ever want to go back to Pennsylvania again, let alone the same spot where I had my life almost taken from me.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it was a statement that he's...
It was a statement.
Like, he's not afraid.
It was a statement for sure. And then Elon Musk shows up and Trump gives him the mic.
Yep.
He takes the stage in his dark MAGA hat. And, like, you know, I don't know, you said you had something.
Yes, it's really dumb. So this was when Elon Musk bought Twitter. And somebody was asking about his, like, name. Can't remember what they asked, like, what does it mean? Or, you know, is it short for something? And he's like, it's short for elongated muskrat. And I was just like, that's awesome. It's like
elongated muskrat.
It's like, that's really funny. I just want to pose a question.
Yeah.
So, he is obviously supporting Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And endorsing him. I wonder if his stocks will go up. Kind of like the polar opposite of what happened to, like what I said, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
What she did, she lost people.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
It's like, are people going to be like, yeah, I'll, support your company or companies.
Yeah. Huh. I mean, not that he's doing it for that. Because it wouldn't even matter to him. He probably wouldn't even notice if his stocks went up. You know what I mean? Like,
but it is funny because Donald Trump's like, the electric cars are not the way of the future.
No.
Just if you know anything about the whole thing, it's like there's no infrastructure just to charge the vehicles. Mm-hmm. And then if that was in place, there's nothing generating the power needed.
You want to know what's the way of the future, y'all? Horse. Get yourself a horse and learn to ride it.
Probably. But
preferably not white, black, red, or pale.
Avoid those colors.
Yeah. Brown horses. Brown are good. Brown are really top-notch horses.
Or those spotted ones, what are they called?
The Appaloosas.
Appaloosas, yes. You can get... But you can't turn... With what we have right now, think I'll go green. Well, you could have all solar powers and wind turbines, and it wouldn't even come close to the demand for all of it. Like California's like, well, turn off your AC so we can charge our vehicles. It's like,
Yeah. Who's turning their ACs off in California?
In the summer.
I wonder. Mm-hmm.
It's like nobody.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's an example. It's like, this isn't the way. And it's like, hello, Tesla.
Yeah.
So even though Donald Trump's like, this isn't the way, Elon Musk is like, he's still good for business.
Yeah. Yeah.
He knows that he's the right choice to put in because the economy will do better. If the economy is doing better, there are people who would say like an electric vehicle but can't afford it. Now we'll have more buying power to be able to afford one.
Mm-hmm. But it went well. Nobody died. Yay. Nobody got shot. Yay.
Maybe they put someone on the sloped roofs.
Yeah, maybe. Those dangerous sloped roofs. I'm telling you. I don't know. But anyway, moving right along. Back to Kamala.
Yay.
Yay.
She's my favorite.
I know, isn't she? She's everybody's favorite. So, the Harris campaign has made COVID vaccine mandates in place.
Huh.
Yeah. They have COVID vaccine mandates in place.
That's awful.
Yeah, it is.
It's like after, this whole thing in Pfizer and Madeira and the other ones getting sued by actually states.
Yeah.
For what happened.
Yeah.
And all the evidence coming out, it's like, this is actually really bad for you.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, all the lawsuits and, and then I feel like there's still more to come that, haven't even been brought into the light yet,
Yeah, they're probably just backed up.
Yeah.
And how many more problems you're seeing healthy people drop dead.
Yeah.
And then when they do the autopsies, they're like, oh, look at all these masses for blood clots. It's like, this isn't supposed to be in your body. It's not natural. And look at... Mm-hmm. It's like completely screwing your body up.
Yeah.
And how it's affecting immune systems. You see pre-COVID, then you're getting all these shots of whatever. Then you're seeing an increase amount of people getting sick. Mm-hmm. Just even the common cold or whatever, exponential rise in people not being well. You're like, what's the cause of suddenly a mass more people getting sick more often?
Yeah.
And it's like, what's a sudden cause?
It can't be anything that they put in it, mind you.
Oh no, they're perfectly safe.
Yes.
I trust those people.
Oh,
100%.
Yeah. Trust them with your life, don't you? Yeah. She is requiring that anybody working on her team or applying for employment. So that's like we just talked about in part 1, that there's hundreds of thousands of people that are having to look for second jobs.
Yep.
So if you are, this is in Kamala's plan, that if you are looking for employment, whether it be part-time, full-time, temporary, seasonal worker, whatever, you must be fully vaccinated against the coronavirus.
I don't think she knows how things work.
Oh no, I think she does. I think she is trying to, it's another way of manipulating control.
Yeah.
It's
like people that got all the jabs. Like, I got the jab and 11 boosters.
11.
And then I'm sick with the COVID. It's like, I thought you got all your shots and the boosters.
Yeah. 11 of them.
11.
Yeah, it says even all this is going on, even while mandated vaccines have been abandoned by nearly all businesses and institutions in the United States.
Do you think if she...
And that was for what? 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
Yeah.
About that. How many people
Or at least a year and a half.
Like, she goes, I'm going to put this mandate. All right. What if nobody complies?
Yeah.
What if everybody put their foot down and be like, you could stuff this?
And I can see that happening.
Or are they going to arrest everybody? Or are they going to fine everybody?
Well, they'll try, I'm sure.
It's like, geez.
I mean, you saw what they did with the hospital, the healthcare workers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And government workers and, teachers and things like that. You saw what they did.
There's walk-offs in Canada over that.
Yeah.
Canada is already suffering badly for doctors and nurses and specialists. And they're like, you have to get this. And people are like, no, if you try to force them, I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
They're like, well, we got to do this. They're like, well, bye. Then what happened, like 3,000 in Ontario or whatever took nurses left?
Something like that, yeah.
And
I can't remember
then they're
the
like,
exact
oh,
number.
we need healthcare workers.
Yeah.
You had them. You scared them off.
Yeah. And then it was funny because we saw an article, I don't know if you remember this, but we saw an article maybe at least 6 months ago, maybe more. And South Carolina, I believe it was trying to poach Canadian healthcare workers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, it's like, I'm for that, but I'm totally against it because that hurts Canadians.
Yeah, because they're already hurting.
But down there, they'll actually get paid way better.
Yeah.
Canada's like, oh, we need you to perform this high, but we won't give you any money for it.
Yeah, I know. And this, this is an example. A job posting for a senior designer in Wilmington, Delaware, states that Harris for President requires, this is in quotes, Harris for President requires all employees to be up to date on COVID-19 vaccination status as prescribed by the CDC as a condition of employment unless otherwise prohibited by applicable law. And that's from the New York Post.
Huh. What if you identify as being COVID vaccinated? Will that work?
Probably not. So, people seeking reasonable accommodation on the provision must plead their case to the campaign's Human Resources Department, the Post notes. So, if you don't want to do it, you basically have to, sounds like you almost have to beg.
Or just use logic against them.
Yeah.
And they'd be like...
And they would likely deny you anyway,
yeah,
so...
more than likely.
Yeah.
I wonder if anybody's gonna... businesses will find themselves getting sued for being discriminatory.
Likely, yeah.
And it's like once a couple can get landslides and they'll be like,
yeah,
we can't afford lawsuits after lawsuit over the same thing that we're going to lose over.
Yeah.
We're going to put a kibosh to this.
Other postings on her website indicate the vaccine mandate rules apply to all jobs offered to work with the Democratic National Committee as well. So yeah, according to the CDC, being up to date means a person must have gotten the latest vaccines from Pfizer, Moderna, or Novavax. So the ones they're not even counting the Johnson & Johnson one.
I think that...
Because I know, like, I knew some people that got that one because you only had to get one. And so they got that. But yeah, so they're not even including that in the, you have to, and so that would mean you'd have to get all of the boosters leading up until.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Nope.
Says such mandates were commonplace at the height of the pandemic, as we well know, and shortly after, with proof required to eat in restaurants, travel by plane, and more, but for the most part are not in place anymore. That just kind of reminds me, it's not the same thing, but like the mark of the beast, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's getting you ready for it. It's like a preparatory, like we're testing this out.
Yeah, and
to see how well.
Compliant.
Yeah, and it's funny because I literally just read an article the other day, probably less than a week ago, saying that that's all that this was the COVID and the vaccine mandate and everything was all a social test.
Yeah.
To see how compliant people would be.
And if you want to look at it, most people failed at this.
Yeah.
You failed the test.
Yeah. But they say that we're still not ready.
No, because there's too many people like, no.
Too many people,
and then there's people like, started to question after a bit.
Yeah.
And it's like, question them. When they say, we're going to do this, say no.
Mm-hmm.
Again, they can't arrest everybody.
Yeah.
We're going to charge you. Charge me, I'm not going to pay it. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to sue you.
Yeah.
And this is why.
Yeah, this is a quote, although Harris claims to support science, the requirement is anti-science. And it is, because science is proving that what we were saying right along, and, all these other so-called conspiracy theorists were saying all along, is in fact true.
Doctors are getting silenced.
Yeah.
Like people who were considered experts before were saying, no, you're wrong, and you could lose your license. You can't practice anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so why? These people know what they're doing. They know what they're talking about.
Yeah. And that was a straight quote from the professor of epidemiology and biostatistics at the University of California, San Francisco. And then he further says, it suggests the campaign is still catering to the most irrational voices out there.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
But if you look at her campaign, that's the truth. Well, that is what it.
If you look at her campaign, she's a communist.
Yeah.
Well, and you could go through a lot of her videos, and she says this over and over and over again. To be unburdened by what has been. And it's part of a quote from Karl Marx. Yeah. And the full quote is, move forward into a future unburdened by what has been. So when you got people quoting Karl Marx as a good talking point, you might want to think twice about who you support.
Yeah.
Because people like her and her friends won't get affected by it.
No.
You will. Like Bernie Sanders said, oh, I think bread lines are good.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, if they're so good, Bernie, you stand in the bread line. I was about to say,
he can be first in line.
He thinks communism's great. He owns 3 homes.
Yeah.
But it's like, should we take the homes away and give them to other people? Give it to the people, Bernie. Suddenly it's like, oh no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I'll just say, don't comply.
Yeah, don't comply.
You need this shot to work here. It's like, no, I don't.
So, Hurricane Helene.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the reason that most people wanted to watch this episode was to hear our thoughts and everything on Hurricane Helene.
Fun. There's a lot here. There's a lot to unpack.
Yeah. There's a lot to unpack. Okay, so the South was pert near destroyed by a hurricane. And, I don't even know. Like, I honest to goodness do not know where to begin with this, because there's so much and it is so heavy and disheartening and evil.
I say one thing.
That it's like living in an awful, like, I don't even know, like a nightmare that you can't escape from, and that's just keeps getting darker and more awful.
You think it's like some kind of sci-fi dystopia?
Yeah, it's...
I say first thing, if you see anything about it in the mainstream media, think they're deceiving you.
Oh, yeah.
Do not believe them.
Don't.
Find the people that are posting on Facebook and the TikTok and all of those.
Yeah, Instagram, YouTube, all of that.
There are these people that are trying to
Rumble.
get out.
Check Rumble, too. There's probably some stuff there.
More than likely. But look at these, the actual people. Not someone sitting behind a desk in a suit.
Yeah.
Because they're given the script.
They are, like I mentioned in part 1 here. They are reading everything off of a TV monitor in front of them.
But we can start with FEMA. So FEMA's saying, hey, we'll give you $750, but sign this. And in super, super, super fine print that you would need a magnifying glass to read, on it, it says, if you don't pay the $750 back within a year, they can seize your property, your home, if it happens to still be there, or your land. They can take everything you own.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're helping. It's like, no, you're not. They're being vultures and taking advantage of people because they want that land. Why do they want that land? Well, there's 2 magical resources under there. A whole ton of lithium. Mm-hmm. And it's the most lithium-rich area in all the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And quartz. But a specific quartz they use for semiconductors. So all your little gadget things need these little chips that the quartz gets used to run your computers and laptops and tablets, mm-hmm. and things in your computer chips in your car and your TV, you name it, it gets used there.
Yeah.
But when the folks go, well, I'm not selling my land, you do something about it. You make it
and as far as the lithium goes, like you got your phone batteries, your computer batteries,
your Tesla batteries,
and I was just about to say, and electric vehicles, and that they're trying to push everybody to have an electric vehicle by, was it 2030? Or it might be 2040 now. I think they may have possibly extended it, but either way, yeah. They're trying to push for it, and so where are they trying to get the batteries for these cars? Because they know that they want to put everybody in them, and they can't charge them all.
No.
Like, they don't have, so they're trying to get all this lithium, and so they, like, we've seen countless videos about these people, just like you and I, just regular people, and they're people living in the mountains of East Tennessee and Western North Carolina. Yeah, and they're absolutely devastated. One.
Yeah, there's nothing left.
They've got nothing left, and I've seen countless videos where people are saying that they're literally coming in with bulldozers and just bulldozing the land straight over, like trees, the mud, the houses, debris, bodies. It doesn't even matter to them. They are just straight up bulldozing, and it's just to clear the land so that they can
start mining.
Yeah. And they've got 2 main highways blocked off for the foreseeable future. One is, it says right on Google, one of them is blocked off until May of 2025, the other one September 2025.
And the thing is, people trying to get in, FEMA's stopping them. Or going, we need to do an inventory or seize what you're bringing in. And I was watching, I just keep on calling videos. Now they're reels. When we say videos, we're aging.
Oh, Lord, I know.
But anyways, a real video, whatever you want to call it. This lady's like, don't say it's donations.
Yeah.
Because they could seize a donation.
Yeah.
Call it gifts.
Yeah, okay,
There's no government regulations for gifts. There's government regulations for donations. And FEMA's stopping. There was
all the donations.
There was one of the guys that worked for Starlink.
Oh, yeah.
And he was stopped.
Oh, yeah, Elon Musk is so mad.
He was stopped.
Because he offered a deal to get them all the internet.
Yeah.
And they told him straight up no, they would not work with him.
And it's like, really? Because they were sending guys like who would bring the units.
Biden and Kamala.
Who would bring these units and set them up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how easy or complicated, but it's like set them up so people could actually communicate. Use their cell phones, get information in and out. But nope, you can't do that. And there was loads of shipments of chainsaws and fuel for them and ATVs to bring in. FEMA stopped them. And just clean water.
Yeah.
And you're seeing not one people. I've just been seeing tons of stuff on the TikTok because they can't really control that.
Yeah, thank God. Thank God, man.
People are saying this is what we need. I watched one of the truckers saying, usually when bad weather strikes.
And all of this, we're seeing stuff on the TikTok. This is why Biden wanted to kill it. Yeah.
And one reason when they keep on wanting to do more of this.
Because they want stuff censored. They want stuff hidden from us.
And this whole thing, just look how the natural world works. How many times have you seen a hurricane go into the mountains?
Oh, I know.
How many times have you? You haven't.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
It might hit like the foothills, right? But even that wouldn't be like the powerfulness that you would see it hit the coastline.
Category 4.
But it might hit the foothills, but it's gonna act like the trees and the rocks and everything all around it, and the way that the mountains are shaped and stuff. Like it's gonna act like
a natural barrier.
Like a breaker. Like if you had like a wave breaker at the seashore, right? Like that's what it's gonna act like.
But even when you go up, the temperature changes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And the air pressure changes just from going up altitude. And a hurricane doesn't do that. It doesn't climb up mountains. You've never seen it.
No.
Then you're seeing this. Yeah, they get storms, electrical storms, hail, heavy rains, nothing.
Tornadoes.
Nothing like a Category 4 hurricane. No. And you've heard of cloud seeding.
Well, and then again, Florida, South Carolina, Georgia, North Carolina, it would hit the coastline, right? And some up the, in Florida and stuff, like up in the middle of the state or whatever, it would come up, but it wouldn't be
that far inland.
Yeah, that's not usual. It usually breaks
unnatural.
up. Yeah.
So there's cloud seeding. And we can do this. Watch the clip, video. 9 years ago, this was on TV, saying they could use lasers.
Yeah.
Lasers to manipulate weather, to direct weather.
9 years ago, guys.
And this was on TV. You could look this up. I don't know if it's getting scrubbed or not, but you find this.
It will likely soon.
Yeah. You're like, what?
Yeah.
That was 9 years ago. How much did that technology develop in 9 years?
Yeah, I know. Well, and even I said to you, it makes me wonder if we live in PEI, like I have said before, and it makes me wonder because the Maritimes were hit a couple years ago so badly with Hurricane Fiona. And it makes me wonder if they were testing these lasers out on an area that wouldn't really affect them, but it's still during hurricane season and everything, so it looks natural, right? Like it looks like it's just something like Mother Nature would do, right?
Yep.
Just a generic act of God.
And
nothing to see here, folks, but it just makes me wonder. I'm not saying 100% that this is the case, but it just makes me wonder, because that was 2 years ago, and this fall, and pretty much almost to the day that the hurricane struck, it was almost 2 years, over the past 2 years, you have seen other things, many, many, many other things with the weather, abnormal things, like clouds that are like circular portal-looking clouds and things like, what is that?
Yeah, what's causing that?
Exactly, like...
It's, and other things that HARP.
Yeah.
How they shoot the radio waves, frequencies into the sky, and it can make the clouds look funky. Like all ripply or whatnot.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh. And again, today was like last Friday and Saturday, and even today, we've just been trying to see more things. And somebody kind of reposted this, and they're talking about it. It was from Florida Skywatchers. And they were watching the storm appear and move, then you just see suddenly it's like moving west, and it like cranks over and turns up. You're like, like not a natural movement, just like
that's very similar. Sorry, that's very similar to what happened with Hurricane Fiona. It was like they weren't sure what it was doing, and it was acting like it was going to go this way, and then all of a sudden it darted in this way, and then and where PEI is, if I don't know if you know anything about the Atlantic Canada, the Maritimes in Atlantic Canada, but you have New Brunswick here and Nova Scotia here, and then PEI is kind of like a little crescent right in the nook
kind of
there,
like tucked away.
and it's tucked away and it's protected. But yet, what was hit so hard? PEI.
And Nova Scotia.
Well, Nova Scotia was hit really bad too. Yeah, but you can understand why Nova Scotia was hit because it comes first. But PEI.
Yeah.
It's always, by the time it gets there, it fizzles out.
Yeah, usually storms don't get that far
we get
north.
some decently heavy rain and
some winds.
and some,
and that's it.
Decent winds, but not enough to do like that. I mean, that kind of damage. Our island was destroyed.
It's like the fall before, we took pictures. We probably spent 2 hours taking pictures at this place called Mooney's Pond. Mm. And there's a pond maybe about 2 kilometers long. And there's a path trail all along, and there's places where it kind of jets out, and there's just like little wooden platforms, little lookouts where you can see all around.
It's so pretty there.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, well,
so
it was.
we went back after Fiona.
Yeah.
And before, most of the trail was covered in a canopy of trees.
Yeah.
All gone. Like, you could see the sky. Before, there was only a few small spots where it opened up.
Yeah, and there's trees down everywhere, roots sticking high up in the air. Like, it's very bad. And
I've been trying to, when I see stuff that's, I think should be seen, like posting it. And there's people that are like thinking like I'm a nut job.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And it's like, no, look, this doesn't pass a sniff test.
No.
It's like hurricanes don't go that far inland with that much force.
Yeah.
Sometimes they make it that far, but it will fizzle out. But no, this is different in how the current administration's going about things. Like Donald Trump, $25 million of his own money.
Yeah, because they're not allowing anybody to help out. FEMA wasn't... See, like, before you started out saying that about the $750 thing, it started out that they weren't giving anything at all. And there was no resources going, like, from FEMA, no money, no nothing. Like, they were getting nothing. And Biden, you know, your fearless leader, he gets on, and he's asked a question by someone interviewing him, and he says that they are out of resources. They can't give anything. They have nothing to give, and that the American people have to do it. They have to give. They have to do it all. The American people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's horrible. You know, what should be done right now?
But yet, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but yet they are sending billions of dollars over to fund, you know, giving financial aid to other countries and other wars and other, you know, whatever. But they have no money for the American people.
What they need to do right now is send every National Guard, every person that's in the military, Navy, and Air Force coming into those areas affected and getting those people out that need to get out and start rebuilding roads. They have engineers. The military has engineers. Let's build roads. Let's build bridges. They even have portable bridges. It's like a vehicle, and they drive it, and enough for one lane, but drive these in places where they can. Start rebuilding now.
Yeah.
It's like.
But that's the thing. They don't want to rebuild because wasn't it BlackRock that bought up all that land?
Yeah.
Yeah, BlackRock. Stay away from them. And any business that they're affiliated with.
Well, that's a lot of businesses.
Well.
That's a ton of businesses. But if they really want to do something, but they won't. You're right. They have no interest in helping these people.
No, it's all about them and their pocket and what they can get out of it.
And when you see this is where you go, use all the power that you have, which is great. Don't vote Democrat. Vote them out. If they are mayors, vote them out. Senators, vote them out. Vote them out. Take their voice away. Because their voice isn't for you. It's for them.
And we're not telling you how to vote. If you feel that they're doing a good job, honestly feel that they are doing a good job. If you honestly feel that they are who Jesus would vote for, then please, by all means, vote for them. Like, what we are telling you is we are giving you the straight up poop on what's happening. And we, you know, kind of not mincing any words kind of thing. We're just telling you this is what's going on. And if you choose not to listen, if you choose to see it your own way, and that's, you know, and you don't have any regrets and your conscience is not bothered at all by any of this, okay, please vote Harris and Walz, because, I mean, I don't want you to go against your conscience.
No, absolutely not. But I was saying vote them out. That's my opinion. Harris is in charge right now, and she's doing nothing.
Yeah.
Imagine if she has a presidency.
Yeah, because Donald Trump, he was feet on the ground. He and his wife out there with tents set up, passing out bottled water, passing out foodstuffs. He donated, like you said, $25 million of his own money because they wouldn't allow any money going out from FEMA or anybody. Like if anybody wanted to donate their own personal money, they wouldn't allow it. So, you got Donald Trump, and he's raising, and he's not the only one. There's a few other people out there that I've seen they have like GoFundMe accounts set up and things like that. So you can find something like that, and you can donate as well, to that cause. But yeah, they wouldn't allow it. And Donald Trump is giving his time and his resources
to help people out.
To help people. And you get Biden, who just only goes in an airplane, right? And hovers over. And he looks down out the window.
Huh.
Yeah, and that's all. And then you have Kamala, who waits several days. Even, I think it was about 2 days after Trump.
Mm-hmm.
After Trump was down in North Carolina and stuff, and setting up and giving and doing and all the things, then Kamala, like days later, goes, oh, maybe I should, make an appearance.
And I bet she goes, oh, you guys are doing great. You guys are doing fine. Yeah, your town's gone, but it looks good.
Yeah, oh, I'm so sorry.
It's like, this is a perfect example. She's not doing anything. She won't do anything.
No.
And the people that are trying to help are trying to steal the people's land.
Yeah. And you mentioned about the $750.
Yeah, that's what I was...
Yeah, you were just going to bring it up again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So now it's like, people aren't going to read that. And a year after you lost everything, you're not, oh, I thought this was a gift. That's what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
They're not telling you the whole thing.
No, they're not. No, and like you said, you have to have like a magnifying glass to see this tiny little print. And then we saw a video just this afternoon of a woman saying that she and all of her friends, she lives in Western North Carolina, and they have lost everything. And, all the food in their house had to be thrown away, because it was days without power and all this stuff. Right? And so they applied for this $750.
And they got denied.
And all of them, every last one got denied. And I said, now she couldn't hear me because I'm talking to a screen, right? But I was like, girl, don't you even worry, because
that's a mixed blessing.
It's a mixed blessing because now you don't have to pay it back.
And you don't have, and you wouldn't know. You'd think it's aid. Then you find out a year later, you signed it. You're not yet. We're taking your house. Then you're homeless. Mm-hmm. They're taking advantage. Support these people. Support these people with your vote. If you can, donate to the GoFundMe. Or if you know close enough, get bottled water and drive down and give your gift to somebody. Remember,
yes,
a gift.
Yeah. Yeah,
and there's... Was it Saturday or Friday night?
See, this whole week,
it's been
every day has just blended together. This week has been an absolute, I'm like living in a nightmare that I can't escape kind of week. Yeah, it's getting better. It's better now, but it's just not been a great week.
But this one man, he owned a helicopter. And he was looking for people with his son, who was his co-pilot. They saw this old man and woman who were stranded. Mm. And he lands his helicopter, gets his son to go out, puts an elderly woman in, straps her in, and he goes, stay here, because he didn't want to overload the ground because it could have gave out. Because it was very unstable. He goes, I'll go back. He landed. And the people on the ground at that time gave him all the frequencies they were using, saying, we'll help you, we'll get you set up so we can get people out. And pardon me, that was before. I skipped ahead. That was before. And then when he went to go back because he was going to get the elderly man and his son, they're like, if you go back, you'll get arrested. And he's just like, well, I need to go back and get my son and go. And it was told again, if you go back, you get arrested. Oh, he went back. He got his son and had to leave the elderly man behind. He goes back and he tells the lady that it's like he had to leave her husband. And, well, they didn't have a home. They had probably nothing to eat or drink. And he was stuck out, not being able to leave. And there's thousands of people living in the mountains or like that, where there's only one road in and out.
Yeah.
And there's no way to get a vehicle up there.
Yeah.
And it was neat. I saw this video. This guy, it's like, you see him and a friend on their horses riding along, and behind them there's probably about 15 pack mules.
Yeah.
They had a whole train of pack mules with food and supplies or whatever was in the boxes. You couldn't really see, but so you got people like that. And when Biden says you got to rely on the American people, oh, they will. They will rely on each other. The mountain people, they'll stick together.
Yeah.
And they'll help each other out.
And the thing is,
yeah, I know where you're going.
do you?
Yes.
The thing is that in this area specifically, almost all of them are Democrats. Like, so what they are doing is really hurting themselves because ain't nobody, none of them, if they are smart, are gonna continue to vote for
A Democrat.
a Democrat. And and then you have the Democrats, right? Oh, we want everybody to be able to vote and blah blah blah, and the internet is down and the mail's down and all this stuff. So we're extending, like they're the big heroes of the day or something, and they're extending the date, the cutoff date or whatever for voting. I'm like, I think they extended it like 9 days or something like that. Like, people. And it's like they think that because they extended it, that they are going to be, like I said, the heroes of the day, and they're going to be like, oh, these people are going to vote for us.
Oh, no, they're not.
Like, are you kidding me with that?
The people are going to see you're not helping us. And it's going to be generation. There's going to be down the line, oh, my great-great-grandpa, there was a big old storm, and the government didn't help. That's why we don't like them Democrats.
Yeah.
And it's going to go, they're going to remember.
Yeah.
And it's, now, this was, I guess I had to, in my head, reverse it because the colors are opposite in Canada.
Yeah, they are, which is a little confusing sometimes.
This was a blue state, and now it's a red state. They're going to lose people through.
Well, and the fact that you have that North Carolina, see, Tennessee and is a red state.
Yeah.
Like, there's Memphis and some of Middle Tennessee, but East Tennessee and the majority of Tennessee is red, and it really always has been. Like, at least for maybe not always, as like way back in history, I don't know, but yeah, it has been. They've been a red state for a long time, and but North Carolina is a swing state. So with that being an important state, like, why on earth? If you are, if you are, Just, oh man, this really irks me. Okay, why on earth would you pick 1 month before Election Day to cause the nastiest of hurricanes, the deadliest one since Hurricane Katrina?
Yeah, because
What did you say, 227?
227, and that was from
and
like
counting.
It's like that was from 19 hours ago. I'm saying they haven't found all the bodies that are buried in 200 feet of mud.
Yeah,
they probably won't.
And so, why would you pick another time to cause that hurricane for the lithium mining? Like, gosh darn it! Don't do that. Don't do what you're thinking of doing, cause you ain't.
Ain't no tapping.
Oh man, I know. I'm sorry. I'm fired up.
But they think they have this in the bag. They think they have the office of the president, and her inactions, or the whatever you want to call it, the Drago, FEMA will help you, isn't going to bode well for them. People are going to actually see what they do in an emergency, and that's nothing. Oh, these people will help you, but they say they have no money. And there's people saying, hey, we're trying to get stuff in, but these guys won't let us. And that's from volunteers. That's from truckers. That's from everybody.
Yeah.
Who's trying to get in there and help out, and they're getting denied. And FEMA's actions are going to reflect on the current people in office. It's going to reflect poorly on the Democrats, and they're going to lose votes.
Yeah.
They're not, like, if they wanted actually,
like, not that I'm for the Democrats, right? I'm not at all. But I'm just like, I'm trying to tell them, don't be stupid. You know what I mean? Don't do dumb things, because
like
you're gonna get a dumb result. Like,
if they want to salvage this, they need to send every resource they have, kick out FEMA, and go, what do you need? Where's the list? We'll fill it by tomorrow.
Well, and another thing too, did I cut you off? I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, it's like, that's what they need to do. Then people will actually see they actually care. But sending bulldozers in and leveling in the thing and stopping people from coming in is nails in their coffin.
Yeah.
And they're going, I don't want to win. And they keep on nailing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was telling you about this. There was a video that I had seen where there's a man saying that, that they claim that there's no money in the FEMA budget.
Yeah.
But he was saying that that if they were to do their jobs properly and look into things, there's something out there that they're trying to put forward and pass or whatever that has, I think it was like $20 million or something like that, for specifically for FEMA. And so if they look into things, if they do their jobs, then they would see that they actually do have money, unless, of course, they, and this is just my thinking, they may have already spent that. They knew about it and, spent it already,
Because people need walking around money.
But, well, I meant to send it overseas somewhere.
Oh, I would say
for financial aid for some other foreign something. You were saying what?
So I was saying walking around money, like they pocketed it. Oh, I need a raise here. My friend gets this and this and this. No, we only have $7.29.
Wasn't that funny though? That was the meme or whatever that you saw last night. The belt, her belt cost more than
it was what she's giving out. Yeah. You're like, what? So
yes.
I know this would be a temporary solution, but there's things that you could get people in homes. Once they surveyed it and made sure everything was stable. And not necessarily this. Go on Amazon. You can buy a house for $20,000. Everything, all the plumbing, everything, you just lay it down and fold it out. Start building places where concrete slabs where you could actually set these homes on. And how many people were in this town or displaced without a home, and put them in an area, place these down, get running water for, clean water coming in, sewage going out, get them back on the power grid. Then they can start building back. Mm-hmm. And they build these homes out of old sea cans. It's like, it doesn't need to be like a mansion. It just needs to be a place where they could, cook the meals and shower and sleep.
Yeah, for the temporary until they can get something better, yeah.
And what's a kicker for these poor folks? There's no flood insurance. And all these places in the mountains are flooded.
Yeah.
Or you don't buy that. And it's not really an option. Can I get flood insurance where it's never going to flood?
Yeah.
They may get high water or whatever, but it wasn't something they needed.
Yeah, yeah.
But they can do that. Why aren't they doing that? Why isn't the government, we can build these homes. Mm-hmm. And they could just airlift these, set them up, get these people in there.
Yeah.
It costs, if the United States government under Joseph Biden can send $168 billion, that's million with a B, $1 billion to Ukraine, they can find a bit of money to help their own people.
Yeah, yeah.
It's disheartening. It's like...
But, yeah, and when Trump was down in Georgia, he was working with Governor Brian Kemp, and this was, they were together for the first time since the former president sought to overturn Georgia's 2020 presidential election results. So, they're worried about like bad feelings and things like that, but there wasn't any of that, and they worked together well and whatnot. And Trump actually, thanked Kemp and said he was doing a very good job managing the fallout from the storm. And then Trump was asked if he was worried that the people might not vote for him. And he says, I'm not worried about the vote, about the election. He's like, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the people. and yeah, he said, this is a bad storm. It's one of the worst. Is a bad one. It's maybe the worst.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm worried about the people.
And
that is leadership right there.
Okay, that's a perfect example. If he's out there, boots on the ground, giving $25 million of his own money.
Yeah.
When he's not in office, when he doesn't have the resources.
Yeah.
Now imagine a man like that in office with the resources.
Yeah.
I would guarantee you, not a shadow of a doubt, if he was in office right now, every single person, like I said, military people that were on American soil would be there helping out.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be FEMA getting in the way. He would be like, nope, direct line, let's get these roads fixed so we could get these people in and out and what they need. That is leadership.
Yeah.
He took someone that he may not have agreed with, was completely civil, and go, hey, it's not me and you, it's these people.
Yeah.
That's how a leader conducts himself. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, it's that man opposed him, but he conducted himself properly because he's like, this is that was then, we're here right now. How can we help these people? You're doing a great job.
Yeah. So yeah, it just sickens me that Trump is just doing so much to help, and Biden and Kamala are not doing anything. No. And Walz, he's like MIA.
Of course. Well,
he's like wherever, he must be in the same spot that Kamala was in for the past 4 years, where ever she was hiding out, and not visiting the border.
Yeah.
He must be in that.
Once.
Yeah, like what, a week ago?
Yeah.
It was only almost 4 years. Like, oh man.
We have a border?
We have a border. We have states, and they're united.
Oh, she's a special kind of stupid, isn't she?
Oh, my Lanta. So they're saying that the disaster money that they did have in the FEMA account, if you had wondered where on earth it went, they're saying that it has gone to all the illegals that they have shipped in. Yeah.
Yeah, because, non-American citizens that don't need the money get it.
And they need to rescue them, right? They need to provide for them because they don't have anything. They're coming over with nothing but the clothes on their back.
I'll just send them back.
Yeah, so... Yeah, FEMA's broke due to migrant freebies. Yeah,
Again, this shows the lack of leadership and lack of care for the United States. When that should be their sole...
For the American people.
100%. Yeah. Is this good for America? Yes or no? If it isn't, you don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're calling for Biden and Kamala to curb the foreign aid and to be able to help the American people.
Oh, they won't.
But they won't.
And again, it's like if it was my call, I would recall, and I wouldn't do it like they did in Afghanistan, but I would recall every single soldier or part of the Navy or Air Force into back to the United States. Every single one. There's nobody deployed anywhere.
And I just saw another article saying that the death toll is at 230 now. Yeah.
And that's funny. That's the people that are like kind of probably found.
The people that have been found. That's exactly right.
And how many people are unaccounted for?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But.
Because there's a lot of people out there that go, I don't like people. So they have a little shack out in the woods somewhere. And they have their gardens and their chicken and, make their moonshine and come into town once in a while selling their ginseng. Yeah. Which they make a lot of money off of. And they get supplies and go back. And that's that's their life because they enjoy that life. How many of those folks?
I might enjoy that life. This is nuts.
See, I could see you as a moonshiner.
No, all right, come on now. I'm not a shiner. Come on. Jeez Louise. I don't know, though. If Kamala gets in, I might become one. I'm just kidding. Oh, man. But, yeah, so, and I realize that, there was other states that were affected, right? Like, you got Florida, Georgia, and you got Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina. Like, I realize that there are other states that have been affected by this. But the thing is that they are they've been affected, and I'm not taking that lightly because I have family in several of those states.
Yeah.
So I'm not taking that lightly, that, but the thing is that they get these hurricanes every year, and they're much more prepared for them. Like even like the coastlines of South Carolina, North Carolina, like they get these hurricanes every year, and but the mountains
don't.
No, the mountain people don't. And really even like in the mountains of Tennessee, the closer that you get to the mountains, like you'll have tornadoes and stuff, but the closer that you get to the mountains, the tornadoes kind of fall away. You know what I mean? Like because of the mountains, and like you were saying about the air, the different air pressures and things like that, and like I was saying about the rocks and the trees and all the things kind of acting as a breaker for things, breaking up the storms and whatnot. So it's not as difficult, but you do not have, like, they were not prepared in any way, shape, or form for any of this.
Yeah.
And right here I've got an article from Republican Representative Diana Harshbarger, Barger? I don't know. From Tennessee, and she said that she kind of fears that the hurricane victims in Tennessee are going to kind of be ignored and just kind of on their own, not by the people, like the people of the United States, but by the government.
The federal government.
Yeah, because the thing is that Tennessee is a red state.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was saying, and whereas North Carolina is a swing state, so it's a battleground state. They're going to be trying to fight for that state. So where are they going to go and fight?
Yeah.
Boots on the ground, North Carolina. But Tennessee. Not that I'm saying, and you guys in Tennessee should change your vote and go for Kamala, because she ain't coming to see you either. And that definitely wouldn't happen. But, I just, like, still, I think stay with Trump, because he's the one that's, fighting to take care of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she's not, and if she is at all, she's only doing it as a copycat version of whatever Trump is doing.
Yeah,
and it's not even anything. Like, she's not providing anything out of her own pocket for these people.
Oh, heck no.
She's claiming this FEMA thing, but then she's not even following through, because nobody's able to, everybody who applies isn't even granted it.
And again, FEMA's stopping people from getting in there.
Yeah, and then they would have to pay that $750 back in 1 year.
Yeah.
So, like, it really doesn't even matter what she says she's doing, but Trump is giving out of the kindness of his heart, he sees that the American people are in trouble, and he's right there to help out.
Yeah.
And yeah. But don't worry, because I don't think that, like, when she, like she's saying here, she feels that they're going to be ignored by the people of Tennessee are going to be ignored by the government, but not by the people. People are going to help you. People are going to, assist you with things you need, money, and, whatever food, water, supplies, stuff like that you need. People will help you, because there are good people out there in the world still. They're just not currently in office. So.
But this kind of shows you, it's like, it doesn't matter who's in office, I think. It's like, you got to rely on your neighbor.
Yeah.
That's who you can rely on. Because, kind of perfect example, Paula's brother-in-law was working on a car and it fell on him. He's okay. But there was about 10 neighbors that came in and said, how can I help?
Yeah.
And that's what you need.
Yeah.
That's what you need. How can I help my neighbor? Someone across the street.
Yeah.
Someone in the next county. Someone in the next state. How can you help your neighbor? And who's your neighbor? American citizens. Those are your neighbors. Doesn't matter if they're in Florida or in Seattle, like Washington. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Help your neighbor out. And you're seeing a lot of that. And again, we see a lot of TikTok people saying, we're getting here, we're our boots on the ground. There's this one lady, she was saying people were donating to FEMA and they're just taking the stuff.
Yeah.
And she's like, don't donate. There are these people set up and they will get the resources to these people.
Oh, and you know what? Speaking of TikTok clips, and I think this was actually on Facebook, but it probably stemmed from TikTok. They usually do. But there was a man who posted a map that had of the storm, and it had all of these like green lights that popped up glowing on this map, all of different cities and whatnot. And then the storm followed the path of these green lights. Like it was whatever the lights were was directed by this laser, and it was directing the storm. Waves. Yeah.
What did he call them?
So yeah, it's no joke.
Like NAS towers or
I can't remember what the name was, but
I shared it, and you just saw the storm, and you see these pings light up.
Yeah.
And the storm shifted. You're just like, that's not right. So when they're being able to shift weather patterns.
Yeah.
And there's like warnings of, it was Texas and state above Texas. But they're saying there's something is going to be happening here. Look at all these strange weather patterns. And you're just like, oh.
And it's funny too, because Andrew and I listen to a lot of prophecy. And one of the prophets that we listen to, he does like current events type prophets and prophecy and things. Troy Black, and he's on YouTube, so you can check him out there too. But he actually has a prophecy archive on his website that shows like the prophecy, and then shows later on, and the dates and when and how it was fulfilled. So you can, kind of keep track, and so you can also know that he's, not just making things up, and that it is like a word from the Lord. But anyway, he was saying on one of his prophecies a few weeks back that in a couple weeks there was going to be something that would happen, and it would change the course of the election season and everything. And I wonder if this was that something, this hurricane. I mean, I can't say for certain because, we'll
have to see after election.
Yeah, but I wonder, because, I mean, you had a semi, at least from what was projected anyway, a semi-close race.
Yeah.
But now, with all this happening, I don't think it's going to be close at all. I think it's going to win by, what's that, a mudslide? Too soon. But really, though, and I think, honestly, if that is the case, they did it to themselves. And I do not feel sorry for them. Not even a little bit.
It's unfortunate that the means they did to try to get a possible vote. Yeah.
And it's very reminiscent, this situation is very reminiscent of that from Hawaii last year.
Yeah, with Maui fires.
Yes.
And they're still not rebuilding.
No, why would they? Yes. Yeah. And they gave them, what was it, $700 for them too?
$700.
Yeah.
Your house burnt down. Here's $700.
Yeah. Oh, you lost your child. Here's $700. Like, yeah. But on a lighter note, Trump is leading strongly in the Spanish-speaking Hispanic voters, and yeah, so and quite very similar with the African American. And let me tell you too, another thing is that Virginia, Trump is kind of treating it as though it is a swing state, right? Because as far as I knew, it was. But it was, it went blue back in 2008, and then it stayed blue, and used to be red before that.
Okay.
And for the longest time. And then, so then it stayed blue, and so now, because it has been blue for however many years, now the Democrats think that it's never turning back. And they are not even trying to really campaign or anything there, or they weren't going to. But Trump has been starting to campaign very hard in Virginia. And so now Kamala's like, maybe I should make an appearance or two. And so now you've got Kamala that's kind of trying to get on board, the Virginia wagon or whatever. But yeah, I know, she's such a copycat. Like, she has no plans of her own. She has no strategy of her own.
No.
She can't stand on her own 2 feet. Like, really, like...
It's like their game plan is like, okay, what did Donald Trump do? We'll do it now.
Yeah. And she had... I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
But it's like you're always a day after.
Yeah, or 2 days.
But it's like, people are going to see this. You're not going forward, making your own trail. You're following the trail somebody already made for you.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And hopefully people are actually seeing this.
Yeah.
He visits ground zero of a massive, natural disaster. 2 days later, she shows up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really quite ridiculous.
I think she's so far behind, she thinks she's ahead.
That's it, yeah. But, and the thing is, too, like, I wonder where Obama is in all this and what he's thinking. And how he's like trying to direct behind the scenes.
I know where he is.
Because he is, he's in a bunker somewhere?
No, he's in his basement wearing pajamas giving orders.
Yeah, that's
just like he said.
Just like he said, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, he said...
he said exactly that.
He said he was asked if he would be willing to or want to serve a third term, and he said if he
would want a front man or a woman.
Yeah. And sit in his basement in his pajamas.
And just dictating.
Yeah, like through the earpiece or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is funny because wasn't Kamala wearing an earpiece?
A few times.
Yeah. And like I said in the first section, the first part 1 of this, if you see, anywhere you see Biden and Kamala, Obama is right there stuck to their hip like glue.
Yeah, or hers anyways.
Yeah. And, it's really quite something, quite uncanny. But I think we have finally made it through.
Wow, I thought honestly it was going to be a part 3.
I was trying to hurry because I didn't want there to be a part 3. I was like, oh Lord.
And I'll probably, be just repeating myself. And just kind of on closing things, really look into what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Question things.
Question everything. Everything.
Even if you see on a TikTok video someone saying something, question it. But if you keep on seeing the same thing over and over again from different people,
yeah,
from all different walks of life, and they're saying the same thing, it might be actually feasible.
There might be something to it, yeah.
And when you just remember, it's going to be voting time. Please go out and vote.
Yes.
Take the time and vote. This is very important. And again, we're not telling you who to vote for. If you'd like my opinion, I would say vote for Trump.
And me.
Because I think he will do, and again, another good job.
Trump, Vance, yes. And you know what? If you like Trump, Vance's policies are very similar, if not the exact same, to Trump. And so if Trump got in, then you'd have Vance as his vice. And so so Trump can only run one more this time here. Yeah. If he gets in, then when he's done, then you've got JD who could potentially run and potentially win 2 more terms then. So we could have a Trump-like a Trump or Trump-like person in office for potentially, instead of 4 more years, 12 years.
I got a question. So if I was a president, say for 2 terms,
which would really help the United States, by the way.
If I was president, say for 2 terms back to back, because I don't know exactly how this works, and say my vice president became president, could my vice president get me to be vice president, or am I not allowed?
Oh, that I don't know. I don't know that. You would be in a different position, so you might be allowed, but I'm not sure.
Look that up.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
Because if that was the case, you think Joe Biden would have chose Obama to be his vice president.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So maybe that it doesn't work that way.
So maybe not. Yeah. I didn't think about that. Unless Obama was like, nah. Because he just wanted his pajamas. You know what I mean?
In his basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh, man. But anyway, you know what? If you want to pray, because I think that we really should pray this out.
Right.
And then we will have to catch you next weekend, I guess, with another Rise and Shine. But yeah, if you can pray us out, that'd be great.
Heavenly Father, again, thank you for the means, people that can reach out and tell us how things really are, God. And again, be with the people in Tennessee and North Carolina who are suffering right now, God. Just open up your blessings upon them, that people are reaching out, they could get things that they need, God. And we just ask you to expose any wrongdoings of the government or branches of government like FEMA, Lord, that people will see what they're actually doing, God. And we just ask that you let our message that we had today, the 2 parts, that it be received well, and that it opens people's eyes to what's going on, God. We just say this in your holy name, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Well, that was
that, man.
That was part 2.
Oh, so yeah, we will see you next weekend. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Bye.